Welcome to our Facebook Live at 5. Hello, Instagram fan bam. And
Hello, everyone. This is Kishon Southie, production chef at New Bakery and Catering. And
then this is our amazing, the one and only, phenomenon, fabuloso, terrific, charming, charismatic,
wow,
catering coordinator, Andrew Briggs. He doesn't get enough credit from behind the scenes. I'll tell you that much. That's exactly why I got to make him blush a little bit.
To Kishon for showing me how he wants to get an intro in next time. All right, so tonight, Kishon, what are we going to be showing for the people?
Okay, tonight we are going to go over how Kneaded we make our broccoli cheddar soup. Huzzah, huzzah. We're also going to go over a little bit of some cuts, a little bit of mirepoix, and how to make a roux, as well as how to make this taste delicious.
All right, and if I want some of that broccoli cheddar soup, what do I got to do?
You go to www.kneaded.com and you order that tonight before midnight for Friday delivery. Let me explain to you, these bowls are going to be 24 ounces, like 1.5 pounds of this goodness. All right, and then we also have, you want to tell them, Andrew?
So we have Sumano's Bakery. They do the Watsonville sourdough, which is one of our favorite sourdough breads ever. And also they're local. They're here in Gilroy. We're just getting their factory started. So they love to support, and they love to support us. So be expecting a little bit of some toasted bread with your soup.
Yeah. Fresh toasted bread. That's what I'm saying.
A few other things. Kishon, we have some holiday packages on the website.
Oh my goodness gracious! Of course, and remember, we also have our holiday gift boxes that we are sending out all over the U.S. Okay, order a mistletoe, the Grinch, send your fan bam a Santa's cookie jar. You can send them the Polar Express. Go on our website, check them out, see what you like. Also, in the notes, you can write what you would like us to personally handwrite and on an envelope, and then send it out with you. Okay, I definitely want to handwrite some lovely notes for you all.
Yeah,
so feel free to put that in the notes.
Kishon does all the notes himself, so he pulls out a nice little leaded card, whips out that gold Sharpie, and starts writing your personal letters, and we'll tuck those in the boxes for you. So,
all right.
I think that's almost everything. We do have the Rebecca's Children's Services toy drive, and that's going to be ending on December 12th. So, if you're interested in helping with the toy drive, participating, getting some toys to some of our youth during this time of year, you can reach out through the RCS main page through their Instagram or their Facebook. You can also DM us at Kneaded, or you can connect with the RCS website at home. So if you'd like to reach out and do that, just let us know. DM, message us. We have our email.
Oh yeah. Our toy drive is like definitely headphones, anything you want to give where you live. All right.
And Kishon, before you get started,
okay.
Can you tell me how I can get started with this cheddar broccoli soup?
All right. So first things first, I need to make a roux, which is butter and flour. Okay. What I also want to do when I'm cooking my roux is I like to add my vegetables, which I'm going to ask Andrew. Can you go ahead and peel that small dice? I'll small dice this, but I need you to small dice these as well.
And how much do you want? Just like a rib of celery? Broccoli down!
Broccoli down!
Speaking of broccoli, Quiche, I don't think we went over all of our ingredients.
Oh,
maybe we should
really did. We just kind of jumped in. All right.
Yeah.
Going too fast. Bringing it back. So, for our broccoli cheddar soup, the ingredients we have is our fresh garlic from Christopher Ranch, the one and only. Okay. Parmesan cheese, shredded Parmesan cheese, not the grated.
A little shallot action in there as well, from Christopher Ranch as well. Go ahead and continue.
I was getting there.
Girl.
I was. All right. Then we have our fresh cheddar cheese. We just cut it into blocks. We're gonna grate that as well. We have our white onion. We've got our fresh rosemary, jumbo carrots,
celery.
We have here salt, pepper, okay, some granulated garlic. I have some chicken broth right here. I have our half and half and extra water just in case we need to add it, but we like this.
And the last thing that we may have forgotten,
and flour.
We have some flour for our roux that Kishon's going to be using shortly. We also have our beautiful broccoli, which of course is very important for our cheddar broccoli soup. I think we went over that rosemary too that's hiding in there.
Yes.
All right. So let me get started by washing those, and then I'll give them a peel, Quiche.
Okay.
We'll small dice.
I'm gonna start small dicing these onions. In the meantime, what was I gonna say? In the meantime, yes. So our toy drive, we are giving back to how many? What is the age range for the children that are receiving these toys?
Quiche, I actually don't know, but I know our program primarily serves 15 to 25, Culinary Academy.
Okay.
And Rebecca's Children's Services serves families all over Gilroy. So I think the age range is all the way from newborns all the way up through 18.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
it could be anything from a car seat all the way up to, a book or headphones, as Kishon talked about earlier.
Some drawing, sketchbooks, markers, allow them to, kick into the creativity. Maybe even some sewing stuff, dude. Like, honestly, they got time on their hands.
Yeah, and I think if you connect with the RCS team, they should have a list of recommendations, things you can get.
Yes.
They also reach out to our family specifically, so you can sponsor a specific family and see what they would like for the holidays. You can take care of them that way. If you don't just want to, go down and get a general toy, you can wait and see exactly what they like. I also know sports equipment used to be really big, so things like soccer balls, footballs, basketballs,
Frisbees.
Yeah, frisbees. I don't know if it's still big with COVID happening, so they might be getting out less. But always a good idea. Those types of toys, even if it's not going to be used during COVID, even if they're not going to be getting together with their friends, they can still go out in the backyard and
skateboards, rollerblades, some bike. Oh, I don't know. That's a little cray. That's a little cray. Oh my!
Do you want to sponsor like a whole bike, or you want to do something really specific? Of course, just let us know, and our team will be happy to connect. Kishon,
what's going on?
I see that looks like a little bit more than a small bike.
Isn't it a little weird having you here on
That's
this
nice
side,
and,
like cam?
Yeah, it is nice being on this side of the camera and seeing everyone. I guess not seeing everyone and just seeing the camera. Kishon, is that quite a small dice, or would you call that more like a?
Oh, this is a super fine.
Super fine. Nice.
It's a fine dice. So these pieces are going to be really small, so that way the flavor is spread out. When you go to a place and you get a sandwich and the onion is just too big and it's a little unpleasant, we don't want to do that here. We want to make sure that all of our ingredients are cut accordingly, so that way the flavor compound is immaculate.
And how does that compare with like the roux? Is that something you put in early with the roux, or is it something that you leave out like towards the end, like something that you want big like the broccoli so they can see that?
Oh, so what we're doing right now is called a mere pot, which is it's cut into thirds, right? So the way you would measure it out is it would be 2/3 of onion and then 1/3 of celery, 1/3 of carrots. Those ingredients together is a mere pot, and that's like the base. Oh my God, I'm crying. Yeah. Woo! It's like the base flavor of French cooking, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook it with my roux. But before I add it to my roux, I'm going to make my roux.
All right, and also just a side note, the reason you saw us peeling over a cutting board or into a bowl is if you peel over the if you peel over the trash and you drop your carrot in there, nobody wants that. So peel over a cutting board, peel over a bowl, do yourself a favor. So that way when you're having your soup later, you don't say, it tastes a lot like that t-shirt I threw away yesterday.
Yeah.
Kishon, on these guys, do you want me to go as fine as you're going with that?
Yeah, please, that'd be great.
Let's see if we can do it.
Okay, so I got our garlic here, and I'm just going ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and cut off these the end pieces so I don't have a bit of that in my soup.
I'm gonna get that back.
Are you crying, Andrew? I'm crying.
No, you keep it on your side. And Kishon, I know you got some other stuff actually. Shallots and garlic, are they like onion? Are they gonna make me cry if I cut huge volumes of those?
No, not garlic, but shallots, yeah.
Okay, got it. So just because you're done with all the white onion doesn't mean you're quite out of the woods yet, right? All right, so I'm just gonna trim those down into nice thin sections here. That way, as Kishon talked about, it's just gonna get melded with all that roux and that stock.
Yeah, okay. So now, squish the garlic. Here we go. We're gonna finely mince this guy. Go as fast as you can without cutting off our fingers.
Maybe we'll do a poll.
Maybe
we'll do a little poll on our Instagram after Food Chalk Better.
Do you see me crying right now?
Yeah, it's starting to get to this side, Kish.
Are you starting to feel it?
Yeah, I'm
good. Because I was trying to like.
It's just.
I can't.
The toy drive, the kids,
It's like a beautiful holiday experience.
What is this soccer ball? Okay,
you get it together, Mike. Let's get it together, huh? We're almost there, bud. We're almost there.
You got some crazy knife skills.
What?
How did you get so good? What can I do, like, fast track my way to getting Kishon's knife skills?
Get a cut glove. You get a cut glove, you start chopping stuff. You ain't worried about your fingers. You can go as fast as you want.
So you're saying the trick is to just not care about your fingers?
Almost.
And the cut glove
Okay, no, not quite. So I got a cut glove so that way it could assist me with my cuts, and then I was more confident it allowed me to be much more confident with my speed, right? And then with that, my phone, of course, and then after that, you start getting a feel of where your knife goes as far as your fingers, because then you hit your finger and you're like, I'm so glad I have that cut glove on. I will tell you what, that happens a lot, actually. It happens a lot, which is why we have cut gloves for our students. And
That way, when you get your soup on Friday, there's no surprise.
You don't have a finger in your soup. Halloween did pass, but you never know. All right, so I'm going to put 1/4 cup of butter in this pan. Huzzah, huzzah.
Kishon,
Yes.
is this enough celery for you?
Yeah, that's plenty. Whew, that's enough crying for me too, I'll tell you what. We're gonna get this rolling, get that melting.
What else is gonna go? So what's a roux for everyone that doesn't know?
A roux is butter and flour. That's the base of a soup, and it helps with thickening. It helps with thickening, actually. That's what the roux is.
If you're gonna make any thick soup, you wanna pull out that roux?
Yeah, what? Right? Oh yeah, when you make a thick soup, you wanna pull out that roux. I didn't hear him. I have selective hearing. Anyways, as we're going along, I just want to make sure, how's everyone doing? I hope you're all doing well, taking care of yourselves, staying hydrated, doing some meditating, some mental health awareness, taking care of that mental. I know with the new stay at home, we definitely want to make sure we're taking care of our loved ones and still being social, but distant socializing,
Kishon.
I'm going to start getting...
I wanted to ask, this is how many lives do we have left before we're heading out for a break?
No, don't say it.
Kishon, just let them know.
Don't say it. I don't want to say it.
So just so you all know, we are going to be taking some time off at the end of December. So if you log on next Wednesday, we will definitely be here. But if you log on the Wednesday after that, we won't be here. We may be able to get some pre-recorded content to do a little bit of that, but just so you know, we don't want to surprise anyone. Hop on your regular Wednesday live, get your popcorn out, and then we're not here. So we will be taking some time off. But if you do want to just keep your regular schedule, come see us, come hang out with us. We have plenty of lives recorded in the archives. And if you've seen every single one of those lives,
every single one,
then you're just gonna have to go back and watch some of your favorites.
Man, I want to thank you. I want to thank everyone for supporting us and continuing to watch us throughout this whole year, 2020. It's been crazy. You guys followed us from when we first started, when it was a little like, oh my God, what are we doing? And now look at us. Look at us. Chef isn't even here. Well, he's here.
So
He's here. Don't forget. Remember. All right. So I got this butter melted. Okay.
Hope I'm turning fast enough.
Yeah. I got this butter melted right here. I'm gonna show you all. Okay. Where'd my flour go? So when it comes to adding flour, I'm just gonna add, I would say, a good 2 tablespoons to a 1/4 cup of butter, right? And now I'm gonna take my whisk and I'm just gonna get at it. Huzzah, huzzah. Okay. Now this roux is considered a white roux. You put it in the butter. The heat from the butter is gonna cook the flavor of the flour out. What I want to do is kind of brown it a little bit because I want that, what's the word I'm looking for? Savory butter. I want that butter brown. Yeah, I want that brown butter. And then, okay. So how do I know if I added enough flour for the thickening of this soup?
Are you asking me, Keisha, or are you going to tell me?
I'm asking you and I'm telling you. How do I know, right?
So for me, it just comes down to consistency. As you can see, he's not quite getting the consistency that he wants. We'll always give it some time to settle and get melded in. So if you have a bunch of chunks and you're saying, why is it getting thicker? It's because the flour is not fully combining. And so you do want to do exactly what Kishon's doing. He's sprinkling nice and slow. And he's using that whisk. You can use a wooden spoon, you can use a rubber spatula, but it's going to be a lot more difficult to get all that flour to seamlessly integrate itself like that.
Okay, another thing.
A lot of words.
Because sometimes you get out too much flour, and the only way you find out if you had too much flour is at the very end when your soup is way too thick, right? So right here, when you whisk it, and on the bottom of it you can see the whisk marks. That's when I know, at least, that I've added enough flour. Okay, because I don't want my soup to be too thick. Yeah, at this point, the heat's gonna bring it up. I'm gonna take my onions, my carrots, my celery. I'm gonna pop them in there.
Sean, what about shallots? Is that now, later?
Oh,
And also, you want me to, yeah, okay.
Please.
After I finish the shallot, what do you want me to get started over on this side?
We start grating some cheese and we'll start cutting up some broccoli.
All right,
Okay.
so get ready for those arm muscles.
Okay, yeah. You ain't wrong.
Kishon,
Yes.
I know we talked about it before a lot, many times. How come I can't just go down to Costco and go get that tempting 5-pound bag of shredded cheese? How come I can't just pull that off the shelf? Is it going to turn out as creamy and smooth and wonderful as I'm expecting?
No. No, that's a lie. It totally is. It totally is. But if you get a block of cheddar and you shred it yourself, it's a flavor like no other. You can't replace it.
Yeah, I know we talked about in the past, like especially with the really fine grated Parmesan, there's all that starch that they add to keep it from clumping.
Right.
So if you want to avoid all that in your food and you want to get that really nice, smooth, velvety texture that Chef Kishon gets to achieve when you order on Friday, you know, go for that fresh cheese. Go with that. It's going to be so much better. And anything that you're melting, any bechamel, if you're doing a bechamel, cheese sauce, macaroni and cheese, soup, any of that, it's worth it to go the extra distance. You know?
Okay. You guys didn't get to see it because I didn't want to burn my butter. I had to go a little fast. But you put the onions and the celery and the carrots in, okay? And check that out. Check that out. If I had too much flour, you would actually see clumps in there, and this would start to look like stuffing. Okay, that's when you know you add a little too much flour, right? It starts looking like stuffing. You don't want that.
I got a question.
Yeah.
If I go too far
Uh-huh.
and it starts looking like stuffing, can I pull it back from the brink? Is there anything I can do, or is it just scrap it and start over?
What you can do is you can cut it in half and then add either water or chicken broth, in this case, because we're making broccoli cheddar soup. But if you did still happen to make that roux too thick, personally, I would start over. I really would. But if you weren't able to start over, I would just cut it into quarters and then work with it gradually as you go to get out of there.
I don't want to start over, Kishon.
Hey, I get it. All right, so now we're here, right? My onions are becoming translucent, so are my carrots, my garlic. I got my chicken broth right here, and I'm gonna add it slowly. Nice and slow.
Whew.
Okay,
I'm not
get that flame up.
quite as fast as Chef Kishon over here, but it's coming together. I spent a little time in the kitchen, you know. Chef Carlos didn't slack when he taught me, so
Hey,
it's working out. Speaking of teaching me, Kishon,
okay.
we both went through the culinary academy, right?
Yeah, we did.
Did we go through together?
No, I went 1 year, and then Andrew Dyer went the year after, and then we met, and then we were working together, and then what we do? You went. No,
we both went. But wait, before we get to that part of our tragic past, do you want all these shallots in that?
No, just half.
Okay.
Just
got
half.
it. Let me just
I like shallots because they're sweet. They're sweeter than our red onions. Red onions, they're really nice to eat, especially when they're thinly sliced, but they're a little more potent.
Careful. Nice.
Shallots have that undertone, and you know me, I like to build my flavors.
Yeah, especially if you've had any of the food that you can get on Friday. You can build those flavors.
All right.
I'm just going to set these shallots
Look at
aside in this little celery.
You can start to see how the flour is thickening just the chicken broth on its own. You see that consistency? Now, if I added a little too much flour, she would be almost like pudding.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
consistency I
It'd
can
be
describe as pudding.
It just be too thick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too thick.
Okay, now I'm gonna add.
Do we have anything on the comments? Anyone saying hi, checking in, dropping in?
Mike said, nice to see the dynamic duo back for week 2.
Is that Mike Lovano?
Yes.
Hey,
Good to see you, Mike.
tell Chef to get on here too, Mike. Tell him where's he
Shout
at?
out to Mike. We're working
Where
on
the ball
building
is
the,
at.
We're working on building the L-shaped kitchen so we can add even a third person. We can get all 3 of us behind the camera here.
Oh yeah.
We can
Okay.
make it, Sean.
I got my chicken broth in there. We got the roux. We've got our mirepoix. Okay, I'm gonna help you shred some cheddar cheese.
All right, I'm gonna cut some broccoli.
Broccoli. Okay, so you cut the broccoli. I'll shred the cheddar.
Kishon's got the forearm muscles for it. Is this a little bit too big, Chef? What do we think?
Yeah, cut it in half.
Got it.
Cut it in half.
Should I be cutting can I cut it in half that way? Is that gonna ruin the look? What do we think?
I think you can cut it in half down that way.
Got
It's
it.
gonna look
So
real
it's
nice.
that nice.
Yeah, it's gonna
Stem
look real
cell.
nice.
All right.
Okay.
This broccoli's raw, right? I don't have
Yes.
to steam it, blanch it, boil it, anything
No,
crazy?
we don't want to overcook our broccoli and our broccoli cheddar soup, so it's actually gonna go on at the very end. Cause I don't know about you, but I like to still have that texture when I bite into it. What is it?
Al dente?
That's it. That's right.
Yeah,
And
if your
what would I
stems,
do if I did not have you, Andrew?
if your stems are a little too long, you can always just cut them down just a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah, it's nice because Kishon teaches me all these terms before we get started. He just forgets when the camera turns on.
It's because I get nervous.
You think after this long you'd stop getting nervous? Right?
You know what? Whatever. I'm lucky to have you, Andrew.
Requests?
He doesn't get enough credit, huh?
Do we accept requests?
No.
What?
Yeah, so every once in a while, if you do send a request to be in the live, unfortunately, we just can't accept them because we don't know, we can't guarantee, who's going to be joining, because we do run a public account, so we prefer, sorry, prefer just to keep it to me and Kishon. If you do want to collaborate, though, let us know, send us a DM, talk to us, see what we can do. Yeah, especially the StreamYard, we can get people in on different areas, so you don't have to come into the kitchen even.
Tell them,
So let us know, yeah. The only person that we may accept a little bit of a request from right now is Chef Carlos Pineda. If you're out there, you want to hop in, you want to join a little bit, do a little collab thing, let us know. All right, Kishon, and I like my broccoli to be like a little bit like.
How do you like the broccoli?
I like it a little bit smaller, to be honest. Especially when because think about it this way, right?
Okay.
Some of these broccoli pieces. I'm going through my soup, I'm eating away, and I go. It's gonna be a little.
You don't want that? You didn't? You're not that hungry. You don't want
this
to
is
big
a
old
little
mumbo
funky,
jumbo,
right? Like I might take that stem down just a little bit more. Sorry, I'm not carrying a knife for the demo. Because then, it's a nice little spoonful of soup, and it's beautiful. So that's where it comes to like thinking about, when you're building your flavors and everything, you want to think about how people are gonna enjoy your food. So if it's bite-sized, make it bite-sized. Woo. How we doing over there, Chef?
We're doing good. Let me turn that heat down. I'm
Little
trying
more?
to shred this cheese in. Ooh, oh yeah, it's starting to smell good. It's starting to smell good. I'm just slowing down the cooking process. I don't want my vegetables to like turn into mush.
Kishon, I got a question.
I haven't answered
If
it.
I have that going too hot and I like lose a lot of the liquid, do I just thin it out a little bit more? Will I, can I take it back?
If you lose a lot of the liquid, you're just concentrating that flavor. So you go ahead and add a little more water and let that reduce once more. You're gonna make some good broccoli cheddar soup at that point. My goodness.
Yeah, and I see we're reaching for the chicken broth here.
Yeah.
If you want to make it vegetarian, you can just sub it out with like a vegetable stock.
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Yeah, nice. And vegetable stock, am I losing any flavor? Do I have to add more things? How do you feel about vegetable stock?
I don't think you'd be losing any flavor at all, especially if you love vegetables. If you're going vegetarian, I'm sure the flavors of vegetables are just perfect for you. So it's the same thing, maybe a little bit of salt here, but yeah, you're not missing out. We've got our Parmesan cheese, our cheddar cheese, and our Havarti cheese that we're making this broccoli cheddar soup with. Parmesan is fairly salty, so even if you do use vegetable broth, it's still gonna flavor it,
And that's always why we adjust for that salt and pepper taste at the end.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, just so if you do switch to a stock that's saltier or less salty, you're always giving yourself that little bit of wiggle room. Yeah. Kish, what comes next? What are we at? What are we doing?
All right, I shredded my cheddar. Okay, I am going to brain fry.
Yeah, cream?
Brain fry, totally. Yeah, I'm gonna. Sorry,
We're gonna take
I'm
it
gonna
back
go
to
ahead.
the
I'm gonna add my
breakfast.
creamer, my half and half. Okay, we have 4 cups here. I'm only gonna add 2.
So, Kishon, if I've seen like your recipe for how to make a bechamel and penne pasta, things like that, we're kind of just making a cheese sauce. It's just that we're thinning it out and adding some broccoli, right?
Well, we're making a cheese sauce, but we're adding chicken broth. Yep. And we're adding broccoli, of course. And then with the cheese sauce, you get crazy, right? You don't need to use just one cheese. People, remember, there's Monterey cheese, string cheese, Parmesan cheese, Havarti cheese, American single, sliced cheese. Like, there's all kinds of stuff, okay? Yeah. Get creative.
So if you're telling yourself, I'm at home, right? Yeah. All I have in my kitchen is some Kraft singles and some like evaporated milk. Kishon can make it work.
Exactly.
You just add some water to that evaporated milk, get it in the pan, a little bit of flour, butter, get it going. Couple Kraft singles, and you got mac and cheese.
Oh, you're gonna have to write that recipe down for me.
And then, Kishon, you also talked about we know vegetarian, vegan. We have some of those special diets and some of the food. Next year, January is coming up fast. I heard you're already planning a few recipes. Maybe
I know how January is.
You got any sneak peeks? Anything you can tell us?
We were thinking about doing a little series. And that's all I'm about to say. It's just a little series of some healthy foods, maybe some just clean foods, I would say, especially for that New Year's resolution coming up. We still want to enjoy our meal. We don't want to really, miss out on anything, but we also want to be healthy and clean. So I have definitely put together a few menu items that I hope you all will like and enjoy. That's how you guys can eat while you're
staying clean.
staying clean and achieving your goals.
Really quick before we do one of those comments, Kishon, I'm all good to clean some of this up, right? Get us going, get the cheese grater out of the way.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna start on that.
Okay.
What do we got on the comments? Question?
Bunny Rose said, what broth do I use to make it vegan?
What broth do you use to make it vegan?
It's never gonna be vegan because of the broth. So, okay, hold on. If you want to go vegan,
Let's go.
the
Andrew,
broth-
tell him.
Okay, so if we want to go vegan, the broth isn't quite our problem, right?
Right.
The problem is the cheese, this giant amount of cheese that contains dairy. Because the vegetable stock is already going to be vegan, right? If it's vegetarian, it's going to be vegan for the most part. But this cheese is what's going to be your problem if you're going vegan. So there's probably some really good vegan cheese substitutes. I know vegan cheese melts a little bit differently and is structured a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably also use like cashew cheese that has that fat content. So I'd look into those sorts of things. Okay. Yeah, and then maybe if there's also like a broccoli cheddar soup that you can look up online, see a vegan one, maybe look at them both, compare them to the Kneaded recipe.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
That's usually what I do when I'm trying to develop a recipe is I look around and then bring it back to this delicious Kneaded recipe, adapt it a little bit, and you should be good to go. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to give out any information that I haven't tried on myself. I have yet to try to make broccoli cheddar soup with vegan cheese. I do know that it melted really nicely on our vegan hamburger. You want to look that up? Go ahead and go back. We made a vegan hamburger with a mixture of our own, and we used that cheese, and it came out really nice. We had the vegan bacon and all that good stuff. But
Kishon, did you say a mixture of our own?
a mixture of our own, yeah.
Wow,
we made our own
making
little
his
vegan
own
patty, okay? Remember that. All right, so I'm adding what is it? I'd say a good, wow, that's a lot of fire. I'm adding a whole cup of cheese, right? And then I'm adding half a cup of our shredded Parmesan. Okay. We have our Havarti cheese right here, right? You can get it in slices. You can go to Safeway, the little deli shop. They'll slice it up for you. Havarti, it's really good. I love it. It's super soft, easy to melt. My goodness gracious.
You know what my favorite thing about the Safeway deli is?
Huh?
Our friend Darren. So shout out to Darren, who works at the Safeway Deli here in Gilroy, one of our apprentices that came through the program and worked with us for a little bit, and then he was able to get a job at Safeway. So if you see Darren, let him know that Kishon and Andrew sent you.
Stop it.
I don't know if he'll get you any discounts, but
Can we look at this? I know I gotta like I'm trying to speed up this process of cooking it, but you can't speed up perfection, okay? This is a nice, slow. Yes.
Speaking of speeding up perfection, Kishon.
Yeah.
When it comes to perfection, in the bread that you choose, Romano's Bakery Sourdough. Best bread in Gilroy and any other city. All right, so after the little Romano's plug, we just got some sliced sourdough right here. We got a little bit of oil down in the pan.
Okay.
We're just gonna heat that up, and this is, I believe, vegetarian. Might be vegan. I haven't looked at the particular stats of our bread. Let me take a look.
I'm adding a little more Parmesan
Maybe
cheese.
this is
Okay. I'm adding a little more Havarti
wheat
cheese.
flour, water, starter, and sea salt. Yeah, so this should be vegan. A little bit of olive oil. We're dodging that butter, and then we're just going to do a little bit of a toast. Kishon.
Yeah.
We got Carlos coming in saying, "Great job, guys."
Oh my
Great
goodness.
job."
Don't put that, dude. It's okay.
Wow. So much to be shout.
Whew.
Wow.
All of a sudden, Chef Carlos.
Zion, do we got anybody else in there actually?
Who? What? Yeah. What's going on? How's everyone doing? How's everyone feeling?
Greg saying,
Huh?
Love to see you guys on camera. Usually behind camera, Andrew.
All right.
See? Andrew, they love seeing you. Is what they said. In case you didn't hear. See, he doesn't take his compliments when we give it to him. Andrew is so good. This catering coordinator.
Speaking of compliments, I have to compliment you on this bread toasting technique. How come we toast on the pan, Kish?
How can we toast on the pan?
Yeah.
I want that crisp. Well, to be honest, speed.
Also, if you don't want to clean your oven, let's face it, you already got the stove going. You're already making your cheddar broccoli soup. Just pull a pan out of the bag, set it on there, get it going. You need a nice, even little toast, just a little bit of oil to make it happen.
Right.
Yeah, so that's all we got going on over here. Get that toast just coming in around the edges.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was doing with the rosemary.
Yeah.
All I'm doing is taking 2 sprigs and I'm gonna twist them up so that way I crack open that flavor and it's fresh. And then I'm gonna pop her in there just like that. I'm not gonna take it apart. I'm not gonna take off any of the leaves because I'm gonna take her out. It's okay if you have a couple of rosemary leaves stuck in there. Totally fine. They're gonna cook off. I just don't want the twigs. So you don't want to eat toothpicks or twigs. What is it? Branches. You want to eat? Yeah.
You know, oil burning over here. We're gonna try to turn that down just a little
Okay.
bit. No smoke in the studio.
Yeah. Woo! Look at that.
We're getting
Yeah,
going.
golden
This
brown.
pan has a little bit of an edge.
Okay, I think we can start cleaning up this area. We definitely made a mess.
Sean's always making a mess in the kitchen. I'm happy I'm on this side because. All right, and then Kishon.
Yeah.
Besides making a huge mess over here,
Yep.
what else have you been doing with that soup? Is it just constant stirring, making sure nothing's burning?
Yeah. At this point, I'm just watching the consistency, adding our cheese as we go. So if I need a little more cheddar or a little more Havarti, I'm gonna go ahead and add it. Right now, I'm just gonna add a little more Havarti. I'm gonna shred a little more cheddar. You get that rolling. Where'd you go?
Oh, I took them over here. Let me get it back for you. Speaking of soup and stirring and constant stirring and watching and looking, this soup, I know sometimes with soups I can like set it on the stove and forget it for a little bit, especially with stock. You don't want to do it with this one? Why not?
Because this cheese will burn. You don't want the cheese will. You don't want to leave cheese on its own. It's one of those sauces. Any sauce that you make with cheese, you definitely don't want to leave it at all.
And I know they say the same thing about milk. Milk will boil over. Really crazy if you leave. You look 1 minute, your milk's fine, it's chilling, it's just heating up. For your little milk and cookies, you turn back around, you come back, all over the kitchen. Your stove's gone, everything's buried. It's gonna take you 3 months to get your stove out of that milk mess.
Exactly.
Then toasted bread. I think we're all done here. I'm gonna unlock that, turn everything off, and get this hot pan out of the way.
My pot is telling me I don't have enough cheese. I'm gonna just cheese
Sean,
it
how do
away.
I know if I don't have enough cheese?
The consistency, huh? The consistency.
Okay.
If it's not stringy with you and it doesn't look like a nice glaze on your broccoli, you need more cheese.
We
More cheese.
we got Chef asking, why not use butter?
Oh,
Why don't you use butter for
Nicky.
what? Why don't you use butter for what, Chef? You gotta be clear with your words.
What is this? What is this? Yeah, chef. Why are we using butter?
Chef, talk to me, Chef. Tell, scream out, yeah.
I did it.
What
Is
you
he gonna
don't
join
know.
our live? Get on the.
Chef keeps a little.
Was chef trying to give us some tips and tricks?
We'll get a little video screen we can hold up next time. If you guys want little pre-recorded videos of Chef giving you cooking tips, let us know. Maybe we can bring that to the.
Maybe he already has one. What is it called? Yes, Chef Carlos. Hashtag.
Maybe.
Y'all follow him.
But on the other side of things, Kishon,
Huh?
butter to thicken? Is that a possibility? Can I make more of a roux, like a thicker roux, and add it in there in post?
I'm not gonna say no to chef. Okay, if chef says
Oh, butter on the bread. Oh, so the reason I use butter on the bread is because Chef must have missed the part where I said I was gonna make it vegan. Vegan, beautiful, tasty. Now, if you do want to do a little bit of butter, we definitely can get a little bit of this butter going. And if you are going to do butter, we have a few additions that we would totally recommend. One of them, rosemary. If you remember when we did that grilled cheese video, we had a little bit of our rosemary and some of that delicious Christopher Ranch garlic. And so you take a little bit of that, cut it up, break up your rosemary, throw it in the butter, get it all nice and melted. That's going to be the perfect thing to put on literally everything. Sandwiches, breads, sneak it into your... Kishon, I got a question.
rosemary, garlic on the stove. What?
If I make rosemary garlic butter
Yep, I'm listening.
and I strain it or like put it in the fridge, I let it get solid, right? Can I use that for a roux?
Oh man, I was like, you get crack.
Butter on a roux?
You get crack. You need to sit down. Chef, tell him to sit down. I'm gonna need you. Where you at?
Give me
What's
that
going
in the
on?
comments, Chef. We're just getting a little cleaned up over here.
No, yeah.
Out of the way.
You can totally use that rosemary garlic butter for a roux. I mean, you're just like we were talking about earlier, right? You want to stack your flavors, layer them up. You know, culinary art is all about expressing yourself.
That's the art.
If you're a little spicy, spice. You're a little sweet. You want to be a little salty, salt it up. You know, it's just the culinary arts. It's fun. It's what we're talking about.
We're talking about culinary, putting the art in culinary art, Kishon.
Right. Okay, now we got this cheese going. I'm sticking it up real
We're
quick.
just gonna get this a little bit cleaned and out of the way. Sorry, this is definitely the part that I'm doing enough.
Okay, now we have. We're gonna add our broccoli. I didn't add our broccoli in the beginning because, like I was saying, broccoli is it's a fairly soft vegetable. If you were to steam it, it takes 2-3 minutes to steam your broccoli, and she's cooked. She's done. Anything longer than that, she's just gonna in your mouth.
Kishon, I got a question. If I'm making this soup, what can I like prep in advance? If I want to be quick, is it just chopping my vegetables in advance? Can I get to the point where I'm adding broccoli in advance? Like, what do you recommend?
Depends on the soup, but if you're gonna do this one in particular, I would definitely shred your cheese. Okay. Get your mirepoix already diced up, so that way you can just throw it together. We definitely wanted to show you, peeling it, cutting it, and portioning it out on this side, but you could totally prepare your mirepoix prior to cooking this. And you can cut your broccoli into smaller pieces.
Yeah, so it's mostly just vegetable prep.
Yeah, it's just vegetable
a little bit early.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Nice. I'm gonna clear all this stuff out of your way. Kishon likes to bring things even if he knows he's not gonna need them, like this little bit zester microplane. Or are we gonna use that for something?
I didn't. No, it was just in case.
All right, I am gonna keep this.
Okay.
Just in case we need to scrape our edges. And Kishon,
Huh?
what are we gonna use to serve our soup? Our choices are a sharpening rod and a whisk. So I'm gonna go pick up a ladle from the back.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Look, I tried to get everything ready. I thought I triple check, double check, but when you cook, you just get too excited. Okay? Sometimes you forget things. It's okay. Just go get it.
That's why, at home, nobody makes fun of you when you forget the ladle, but here, I'm gonna let you quiche.
What?
All right, we're gonna get this out of the way.
Okay.
We'll
put this right here.
Somewhere over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna wipe your little station over here talking about I'm the only one making a mess. I mean, his was smaller than mine.
Celery all over the place, let me tell you.
Okay. All right. I'm ready. You ready?
Yeah, I think I'm all ready. Let's get the, you wanna do 1 plate, 2 plates, 3 plates?
You want to get a torso on this real quick?
Let's do one.
We just show what we got in this pot.
Here.
Okay, a nice broccoli cheddar soup. Oh my gosh. You smell it?
What are those little pieces?
It's cheese. I'm still melting it.
Or maybe just like onion, celery, carrot.
No, yeah, there's little cheese, but there's still it's some of the, okay, Parmesan too. The reason why you want to get shredded Parmesan is because the grated Parmesan, it doesn't melt. I think we talked about that a long time ago.
So if you want to, anytime you're melting cheese, shred it yourself. Do yourself a favor. You don't want those little clumps. You don't want that potato starch. You don't want to deal with it. When you're sitting there and the recipe said melt the cheese for 5 minutes. It's been 15 minutes. Why isn't it coming together? It might be because you use some of that prepackaged cheese that just has a lot of starch to keep it from binding. So one of the things to troubleshoot your recipes, keep it in mind. Or you go over to your friend's house and he's like, I grated all the cheese myself, and you notice a little bit of clumpiness. Ooh.
Okay.
Maybe you need to take them out of your circle.
This broccoli, she's fast. And like I said, you want to add your broccoli at the very end because the heat from the soup will cook it right away. It's all about preference on how you like to eat your broccoli. If you like your broccoli infused with the soup, and it's just itty bitty pieces, by all means, cook it, mix it up, give it a whirl. But if you like broccoli chunks, throw them in at the end. Give it a good 3 to 5 minutes, and she's ready to serve. She truly is. All right, you want to do the honors, Andrew? Nope. You don't ever get to do this in front of the camera. All right. Show them what you made of. Show them what Chef taught you.
Don't be like that. Oh, Kishon, speaking of things, you get that rosemary?
Oh yeah, that's right. Hold on. Don't do this at home.
It's hot, so I'm pulling it out so it cools a little bit from the air.
Don't do this at home.
There's one more. Woo! Kishon, how come you can just do that?
It's almost like I
work in a kitchen and get burned all the time. All right, so
we don't get burned all the time. Don't tell them that.
Don't tell Chef that. Chef, we never make that mistake. I've never been burned in my life at Kneaded Bakery. Thank you. So we're just gonna get that ladle nice and going. We're gonna be careful about all that drippage that's going on.
Do you want to hold it up this high? Just curious.
Probably not.
Probably
if you want
not.
to get more control, you can get a lot closer.
Okay.
I just like the stylisticness of all of this beautifulness right here. And also I'm gonna go under, right? Because if I go in, I'm worried that I'm gonna do that and drip all over. This is you can tell I've spent a lot of time thinking about how to use a ladle and maybe just a little bit too much. So I'm gonna go under it in.
There you go.
Pour it right in beautifully. That way I don't have to worry about cleaning my edge because I did it first.
Smells good.
We're gonna do one more. Kishon, that's why I brought 2 bowls. Are you gonna be having some cheddar broccoli?
If you guys did not know, if you all did not know, I am lactose intolerant. I will give it a go. I'm definitely gonna try it because the chef always tries his plate before he serves it. However,
do you want a bowl?
I don't know if I can do a bowl. I think I'm just gonna do food.
Let's go straight for it, Kish. You and me. We'll each grab a spoon, but in the meantime, we're gonna do a nice little.
Oh my gosh.
I was thinking about it more, I would add a little like parsley, you know, a little something. Let's get it all in there.
Where's the rosemary?
Beautiful.
Where's the rosemary?
Rosemary,
Where did you go?
it's gone.
She went somewhere.
She's gone.
She went somewhere.
She jumped.
She left us.
Give me
Maria.
a little sprig, a few leaves, a little.
Yeah, a little.
Okay, so wait, take that up. Hold on. This right here, what we have right here, okay. So pretty good. How much would you pay for this, Kishon?
Oh, I pay a good 15.
Okay, but now I have the rosemary. 18. Okay, that's what it takes, okay? It's about the details. So, yeah, that's it. That's our $18, I guess, broccoli cheddar soup with a little bit of toasted bread on the side. Kishon, let's try it.
You wanna try
Actually,
it?
I'm gonna save
I'm
that one.
scared.
I'm gonna save that for the pictures.
Okay, we'll say because
We'll just
you know
take
how we roll.
clean spoons. We're not gonna double dip. We're each just gonna grab a little bit
You
here.
can't double dip?
No, Kishon, you can't double dip unless you're committed to finishing the whole pot.
Maybe I am.
All right, here we go. Hand under. It's how to eat on camera. Kishon's gonna take a bite. He's gonna tell you what he's tasting. He's hot.
Hot.
Okay, so he's going all in. So I'm gonna wait for him to get a little more articulated. That way you don't have to deal with either of us talking. But I'm so excited. It smells delicious. It smells great.
It's delicious.
What do you think? Please give me some
It's
flavor.
good. It's smack.
Salty,
It's
spicy.
no. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Tell me. Don't lie to me.
You
You're
can
not
taste
gonna
the
humiliate
cheese.
me.
You can taste the vegetables. You say broccoli cheddar. This is exactly what you should be thinking. When you get it on Friday, it is going to be like really thick because we deliver it cold. So just remember when it heats up, give it a little stir, get it going, and it'll be this nice, beautiful, velvety soup that we're getting to have right now.
Yeah. All right. And I think that's it. That's all, folks. I hope you all remember the Twitter. Remember to order tonight. www.kneaded.com. Check out our Facebook Live. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Right. Go to our Instagram page. Like, share. Let your loved ones know.
Also, Kneaded is on YouTube. We are working on revamping that, bringing you some exclusive content, doing all those wonderful things. Toy Drive, of course. Kneaded orders. Kishon, what are we doing next week? What's the meal?
Next week? Next week's meal. That's
Yeah.
the $30 boxes? Don't tell me off.
Yeah, so
That's
next
a
week's
good
meal
question.
is no meal. Yeah, we won't actually be doing a meal next week. So if you have that craving for a little bit of Kneaded goodness, what are your options? We got charcuterie boxes, we have our baked goods, we have our holiday packages that we're shipping all over the U.S. for mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, cousin, sister, aunt, uncle, just like Chef says. So yeah,
Auntie, give Auntie a
those
little
are the
gift
ones
box.
that you can order.
Give Papa
And,
a gift box. Okay?
everyone on Instagram, hi, have a good night. Thank you. Make sure you go over to Facebook and follow over there as well. Everyone on Facebook. We'll see you next time. And make sure you go over to Instagram as well.
Take care of yourself.
All right.
Bye.